Welcome to County Report this week. I'm Lona Virgili. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in the next half hour, Maryland Comptroller Peter Franshaw visits a couple of MCPS schools. We'll tell you why. The Board of Elections is looking for bilingual workers. And later on the show, we take you to the Crossroads Farmers Market. But first, a recent report from the Council's Office of Legislative Oversight has found the schools only used about 2/3 of state money earmarked for programs for low-income students. And this news has some council members taking a close look at the school system's spending strategies. Susan Kennedy reports.
The report found that $47 million in aid from the state that is earmarked for compensatory education programs was spread across the school's operating budget. Councilmember Craig Rice says making sure those students have the support they need should be a priority when these funds are designated.
One of the things that's always been a priority for us on the council, for the Montgomery County Council of PTAs, is making sure that we can have resources allocated where need is greatest. Part of the challenge, however, is that it's not easy to just look at the cost of a teacher and saying that, okay, the salary or experience means that that teacher's any better than another teacher who might be newer, but who also might have a fervor for really jumping in and dealing with those particular issues.
MCPS's use of that funding for non-compensatory education programs is legal under state law. However, Councilmember Nancy Florine says that money should be used to help close the achievement gap.
I find it pretty troubling that 1/3 of the dollars that is designated specifically and precisely for what's called compensatory education, which is ESOL and children from families that require special support because of poverty and other measures, are not receiving the dollars that technically under these rules I think they should be getting.
Councilmember Rice says the Education Committee will be working with MCPS and looking at some of the higher need schools in the county to see what resources are being allocated. And if some schools are falling short in their needs, how to get them back on track.
And if there's a disconnect between the needs that are in our schools, it basically falls on that principle in terms of communicating that information. We're going to make sure that all of that is working seamlessly. And then if there are additional resources, of course, advocating on behalf of those individual schools that might need it, to say to the board, allocate those additional resources to the schools so that we can make sure that our students are getting everything they need to be successful.
In Rockville, I'm Susan Kennedy for County Report This Week.
Executive Ike Leggett held the second library summit in Silver Spring. 6 years ago, the executive had held a similar summit to determine the function of libraries in the county. As a result, several libraries have been remodeled or built to provide county residents with more updated services. The latest summit was precisely to obtain public input as to what the future of libraries should be as far as function and programs.
I strongly believe we need to move forward, and we need to do so, and we need to have a continuing plan of action to make sure that our libraries reflect the changes that we see. For many people, updating technology is the first thing that comes to mind when talking about changes to libraries. That's certainly part of it. We have to better provide services, online services, and be more robustly connected with all of our branches.
For more information, visit montgomerycountymd.gov/library. Montgomery County residents were among the thousands who flocked to Washington, D.C. in hopes of seeing Pope Francis in person. My MC Media's Sonia Burke reports it was a mission of love.
Papa Francisco. Papa Francisco. The Pope comes and we're so excited.
Pope Francis's visit to Washington, D.C. was a popular stop for Montgomery County Catholics who wanted to see the Pope in person. At the Shady Grove Metro, we talked to some of these residents before they boarded the train.
We're going to the papal mass. My son got a ticket from our parish, and I'm his escort.
It's sort of a pilgrimage for us, so we're in prayer as we go to the ellipse. And to see the Pope in person would be a big blessing for us.
On this morning commute, Metro trains were not as crowded as expected. On location for the Pope, security was as tight as expected.
It was a bless for me just to be here today. And by the way, guess what happened? I brought my guitar because we playing, and the security staff said, you guys are not allowed to bring the guitars. So what we can do with the guitars, they are like, there's a trash in there, and we throw our guitars away.
The Pope's visit was called a mission of love, and the love for this Pope was everywhere you looked.
I thought it was important for my son and I to at least get a glimpse of the Pope and see and hear what he has to say and where he's bringing the Catholic faith.
It was amazing to see him in person, especially how everybody always is talking about him going to a Catholic school, so it was amazing to meet the head of the church.
We got to see the Pope in person. It was really incredible. I liked it a lot.
It was really exciting to see the Pope come by. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so I was excited I got to take part in it.
You know, a lot of things going on in today's society, so I see him as a role model. I take everything that he says to heart.
He looked right at us and gave us a nice papal wave, so it was perfect.
That's awesome. What were you thinking as he paraded by?
I was thinking these kids won't ever forget today. That's what I was thinking.
What about you?
I won't ever forget today either. That's exactly right. I thought it was a beautiful time for our church and for our country.
In Washington, D.C., for County Report This Week, I'm Sonia Burke.
Did you know that there was a Pope-mobile parade here in Montgomery County? That's right. The preschool at St. Jude's Regional Catholic School in Rockville staged their own Pope-mobile parade, and it was timed to coincide with a papal parade in Washington, D.C. That's Maximiliano Hernandez in the Pope-mobile, which is a Little Tikes car painted white to match the real Pope-mobile.
Eileen and I wanted to bring, Pope Francis into the classroom and really explain to the children how awesome he is and how he's doing so many great things for us, and what better way to have a parade and have a Pope-mobile and really relate it to the preschoolers' age and have everyone come together as a school community and really honor our Holy Father.
I think it'll be such a memorable experience for them and so personal to have their own parade acknowledging the Pope's visit. He's our spiritual leader of the Catholic Church, and to make it something that they can bring home in their hearts and remember forever.
We had the idea, and then we have such a great big preschool here at St. Jude, and we wanted to have a little people parade, and then all of a sudden everyone wanted to be part of it, which is great, because I know a lot of the older kids and even little guys really wish they would be able to go to DC and Philadelphia, but they got to experience it here and kind of have their fun with it.
Bring it on home.
Yeah.
Bringing it home to St. Jude's.
Yeah.
Coming up on County Report this week, Maryland's comptroller visits a couple of schools to talk about financing college. And the Board of Elections is looking for bilingual volunteer judges for the upcoming presidential primary election. Stay tuned, we'll be right back.
Did you know there are more than 10,000 county government phone numbers? But there's only one number you need to remember for non-emergency calls, 311. MC311 is Montgomery County government's online telephone information system. Need information? Have a problem or complaint? Trying to locate a county government facility? Call 311. The call center is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. The website is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We did not lose the war in Vietnam. We quit. And it just made it so much harder for all those guys that were wounded.
You look and you see the guys beside you and around you. We realize you're all Americans. And no longer are you a particular race, you're a soldier.
I became the first resident of the Hanoi Hilton. We're going to come out of there, but we're going to come out of there with our honor.
On Saturday, October 24th, join Bob Schieffer at the universities at Shady Grove as we honor our more than 13,000 Montgomery County veterans who served in the Vietnam War.
Welcome back to County Report This Week. I'm Lorna Virgili. Maryland Comptroller Peter Franchot made a visit to a couple MCPS schools to highlight some important topics. MCPS TV was there and brings us the details.
Montgomery County Public Schools is the largest school system in Maryland, annually growing by nearly 2,500 students. Projected enrollment for this school year is more than 156,000 students. State Comptroller Peter Franchot, along with other local and state elected officials, had the opportunity to learn about MCPS's needs for capital improvements on a visit to Highland View Elementary School, a school that has more students enrolled than it was designed for.
I'm going to report back to the governor. This is a fabulous school, and we need to put some state money into Montgomery County to help out with the renovation. The portable classrooms are not suitable. We at the state level are going to try to work with Montgomery County to come up with a systemic renovation that allows everybody to get rewarded for doing exactly what we want them to do.
Comptroller Franchot and officials took the time to hear from members of the Board of Education, the MCPS Facilities Management Director, as well as from the school's principal.
I think it was a very positive visit. He was very interested in hearing about our school, about our successes, our challenges with the facilities, with the 6 portable classrooms, and I felt that he was very committed to engaging in dialogue with local and state officials about how he can be helpful.
Every single year we're growing 2,500 new students entering the school system. That's about a new high school every single year. So one of the challenges as a lawmaker is to try and find how we're going to finance all of this school construction and modernization. And as we go into the Annapolis legislative session in 2016, I think at the top of our minds is how do we get more money into the school system to be able to take care of this over-enrollment.
While visiting MCPS, Comptroller Franchot joined State Treasurer Nancy Kopp on a visit also to Rolling Terrace Elementary School to share with students the importance and benefits of the Maryland College Savings Plan.
They told us all about what we can do in college.
Kopp and Franchot want to remind families that now is the time to begin saving for the children's education. The Montgomery County Board of Elections has voted to change 2 of 9 locations for early voting in 2016, and that decision has outraged some Democrats in Montgomery County. The president of the BOE is James Shalik.
What we wanted to do, the majority, we wanted to expand the geographic outreach of early voting, to move more up-county and to more areas that had never had early voting. Potomac and Olney have never had early voting sites. Olney is a growing, diverse community. If you go out to Olney, you see all kinds of construction. Population is growing tremendously. Potomac, an established community, and the site is on Falls Road, has always wanted a site, but has never had one. So we wanted to change the direction of the board and to add new areas that we think will encourage more voting and be better for the county. Geographic diversity.
Congressman Chris Van Hollen sent a letter to the Maryland State Board of Elections this week asking it to reject the proposed changes in Montgomery County. You can find out more about the 9 early voting locations and the upcoming 2016 election by visiting the website 777vote.org. The county's Board of Elections is seeking bilingual voters to work at early voting centers and at polling places on Election Day. Because of the county's diversity, the board recruits workers who speak numerous languages. If you speak a second language and would like to work for the primary election on April 26, 2016, and during early voting, call 240-777-8532 or visit 777vote.org to download an election judge questionnaire from the site. Election judges are compensated for training and for service on Election Day. The Montgomery County Office of Consumer Protection investigates and solves consumer complaints. Here's OCP Director Eric Friedman with the latest consumer information.
This consumer alert is to warn residents about overly aggressive towing and to let you know about new legislation that's just been passed in Montgomery County. There's probably not anyone in Montgomery County who drives who hasn't either been towed or at least knows someone who has been towed. So after holding public hearings, the County Council has passed new legislation and the County Executive has signed new legislation to regulate the trespass towing or impound towing practice in Montgomery County. Some consumers probably don't realize that when you park in a shopping center, there may be someone watching you. They may be hiding behind bushes or in a tree or somewhere else taking photographs of you. So that if you park and make a purchase in a store, and then just walk across the street to mail a letter or get change or get a cup of coffee or a donut, you in fact can be towed in as little as 30 or 40 seconds. That's all it takes for a towing truck to swoop in like a hawk and remove the vehicle. If you think the towing firm has not complied with all the aspects of the law, please contact the Consumer Protection Office. We have investigators that are specialists in these kinds of cases. There need to be proper signs out there, and there are things that the towing firm has to do before they can leave the lot to properly tow a vehicle. The act of towing a vehicle is an extraordinary act. It doesn't exist anyplace else in our marketplace. And yet we have some behavior that's overly aggressive. In fact, some people have called it predatory. So now we have new laws in Montgomery County that are going to hopefully regulate this practice. What consumers don't know is that the property owner has to authorize the tow, and the towing firm has to report it to the police before they leave the parking lot. So again, this is an extraordinary act, and we need to have rules to regulate it in Montgomery County, and luckily we now do.
Coming up on County Report this week, Montgomery College celebrates International Translation Day, and
a community gathering where neighbors get to know neighbors. That's next on County Report this week.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
Welcome back to County Report this week. I'm Lorna Virgili. Montgomery County Office of Human Rights hosted the Friendship Picnic at the Wheaton Regional Park. The annual event is a way to celebrate the county's diversity, culture, and different faith coming together in one place. My MC Media's Alini Barros reports. Alini?
I'm in Wheaton at the 3rd annual Friendship Picnic, where people from all over the world are here to celebrate diversity and culture and to learn more about their community.
Montgomery County residents enjoyed an afternoon of music, food, dancing, and local talents at the Friendship Picnic. Organizers say the picnic is getting bigger and better every year.
We want people to get to know each other, get to see who's living here, who their neighbors are, even if you don't live in this neighborhood, so that when things happen, as they sometimes do in Montgomery County, we can create a bit of empathy and compassion.
County officials say this picnic started as a way to honor the victims of the Boston Marathon bombings. Since it began, over 2,000 people have attended.
We ought to do something that might, again, just show our solidarity with that community. And so the Committee on Hate Violence came up with this idea about coming together, no other reason than to share the same space and place and kind of talk about what is good about being so diverse in Montgomery County.
When you look around this is really what we hope the world could be in the future.
It doesn't matter if we're black or white, or if we're Jewish or Asian or anything. I think it's really good that all of us are getting together and getting to know each other.
There are 200 different ethnic and national and racial groups in Montgomery County, which really makes it a very, very diverse area, very rich historically, culturally, traditionally, religiously.
If you missed this event, County Executive Isaiah Leggett invites you to another celebration.
On October the 18th, from noon to 5 p.m., we'll have, again, the World of Montgomery. The difference would be this year, it will be held at Montgomery College. Come out, enjoy it, see great diversity, great food, great culture in what Montgomery County is all about.
In Wheaton, for County Report this week, I'm Alini Barros.
Before getting lost in translation, Montgomery College hosted Confluence and celebrated International Translation Day. Carolina Galeano has a story.
Professional translators, authors, and polyglots in our area celebrated International Translation Day at Montgomery College. For the opening night, Maryland Senator Jamie Raskin brought insights about translation from the political scene.
So political representation
just reproduces the many difficulties of translation. But I think in the final analysis that James Merrill had it right. None of us can avoid translation in anything we do, but none of us should be afraid of translation either. Within translation lies the hope for our future, bridging not only the differences of language and dialect, but the differences of culture and nationality, ethnicity, gender, age, and so on. Translation offers us real hope, the potential of transforming a world of difference into a world of understanding.
The conference premiered the video Human Rights in Many Languages, highlighting one of the greatest accomplishments in translation, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights.
The International Bill of Human Rights. More than 160 nations of the world have acknowledged these fundamental human rights. When the UN General Assembly voted on the Universal Declaration, a few nations abstained, including Saudi Arabia and South Africa, which had just adopted the official policy of apartheid, but there was not a single vote against. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights is the most widely translated document in the world, currently with 444 different translations available from the UN. Montgomery College students, faculty, and staff come from all over the world, representing many different languages.
While the conference covered literary, practical, and philosophical dimensions of translation, some participants learned that Montgomery College now offers certificates in the Translation and Interpretation Institute.
So glad Montgomery College is actually teaching it now, because that's what we need. We need it at this level, at the community level, for more people. Usually they'll think if you know the language, you can translate, you can interpret, and that's not true. It's a skill you have to learn, and you have to practice it.
For County Report this week, I'm Carolina Galeano.
It is time to roll up your sleeves for Community Service Week. Local residents are invited to make plans to give a few hours of their time to their community by joining family, friends, and neighbors during Community Service Week, which kicks off on October 16th and runs through the 25th. Many of the available service projects provide middle and high school students with the opportunity to earn student service learning hours. Service projects are posted on the Volunteer Center's website at montgomeryserves.org, or you can call 240-777-2608. Coming up on County Report this week, we go to a farmer's market that has become a community staple. And
I'm the Planning Department's Bridget Suizo. When we come back, we'll tell you about a party focused on modern architecture in the county. And you're invited. That story and more when County Report this week continues.
If you are a high school student or a Montgomery College student, the Scholarship Conference is going to give you guest speakers, workshops, four-year school representatives who are going to talk all about the different ways that scholarships are given out and what you can do to go find those scholarships, apply for them, and then earn scholarships that are going to help you pay for college.
Montgomery College invites you and your family to experience live music, chef demonstrations, a parade of cultures, and more at the World of Montgomery Festival on Sunday, October 18th from noon to 5 at the Rockville campus. You won't want to miss this.
Welcome back to County Report this week. I'm Lorna Virgili. The community is invited to attend a book launch event at the Writers Center in Bethesda, hosted by the Montgomery County Planning Department's Historic Preservation Office. Our Bridget Suizo brings the story about the book launch event and about the Montgomery Modern Initiative. Bridget?
That's right. Montgomery County Historic Preservation Planners have begun exploring, analyzing, and recording local mid-century modern buildings and communities, all part of an initiative called Montgomery Modern. One planner has taken this effort to new heights and has a new book to prove it.
Montgomery Modern is a study of mid-century modern architecture in the county, and it's really a research effort that we've undergone. It's developing the historic context for architecture in the post-war era, and it's a time period that's been little understood. We're raising awareness about the value of buildings from this time period. We started the Montgomery Modern Initiative a few years ago. We have a blog, And we've also been doing tours. We did a bus tour and a bike tour. They're very successful. They sold out very quickly. And it's been a great way to get the word out, to bring people out to see some of the treasures in the county. And we've also put these, we've developed guidebooks and we have them on our website. We also have a virtual tour there. So for folks who weren't able to come out for the tour, you can see them on the website. We'll be having book launch from 7 to 9 p.m. and we're going to be having books available for sale, and I'll be signing books, and I'll also do a presentation on historic architecture in the county, and we'll have refreshments too.
There are hundreds of farmers markets in Montgomery County where shoppers can find fresh, locally grown fruits and vegetables to add to their diets. But one unique venue in Tacoma Park offers so much more.
It's Wednesday, and the Crossroads Farmers Market in Tacoma Park is bustling with activity. Mothers with their children, senior citizens, and folks from all walks of life are here to find some of the best local produce in town. But the Crossroads Market serves another important purpose. It's accessible to low-income shoppers.
It was the first farmers market in the country to do a double dollars for food stamps program. So if you spend your food stamps, if you spend, say, $15 in food stamps, we'll double that with privately raised money, an extra $15, so low-income families can spend $30 with local farmers.
Each week, the market sees more than 1,000 visitors, and 90% of those folks qualify for some type of aid.
I've been eating padron peppers, which is my new favorite. Padrons.
Councilmember Mark Elrich is a resident of Tacoma Park and a frequent visitor to the Crossroads Market.
It provides fresh food, locally grown. It has good prices. They take SNAP. They incentivize people for shopping here. And it's a good thing. Pretty wide variety of food here. It gives opportunities for local farmers to sell, which is the other side of this. Is if you want farmers to grow table crops rather than be involved in the big crops.
$3 or 2 for $5.
They've got to have markets.
Catherine Collins brings her fresh goods from her farm in Virginia. It's the mission of the market that brings them back year after year.
Well, we have a lot of international customers who are looking for all sorts of things that they recognize from their homes. So we try and offer a range of those things and bring what we can. And basically people are just excited to have fresh produce here. And we like to be able to serve everyone in the DC area. So it's a great way to participate, come out to a farmer's market that's much more accessible to all residents in this DC region.
Same holds true for Kevin Tuckey. He has been selling at the Crossroads Market since it first opened in 2007.
Tacoma Park here is kind of like a melting pot of people. They have the fresh check deal here where they double the WIC check proceeds. They get more fresh fruits and vegetables for their money, and it helps me out and helps the community out.
The Crossroads Farmers Market relies on funds from private donors, foundations, and local government to finance its Fresh Checks program. The agency received grant money this year in the county council's budget. Mark Elrich says accessible markets like this one serve an important purpose.
A lot of these folks are walking here. You'll see people walking off site with their bags. A lot of people are transit dependent, and you can't get to a lot of the places where you have alternative shopping, or it's expensive. You could buy this stuff in Silver Spring, but the stores that offer it, it's an arm and a leg. So it's not accessible to them, even if it's physically present.
The success of Crossroads Farmers Market has made it a national model. Today there are venues just like it in more than 600 locations across 30 states. And for the folks who visit here every week between June and November, this market represents an all-inclusive place to connect to fresh food without the need for deep pockets.
Let's meet our pet of the week. Kathy Stanhope joins us from the Montgomery County Animal Services and Adoption Center with more. Kathy?
As you can see, we have lots of birds here at Montgomery County Animal Services and Adoption Center, and this handsome devil is a cockatoo. He's about 3 years old. He's been found as a stray, believe it or not. Someone lost him and hasn't been able to find him. He would love to go home with you as a new pet. Can you give us a call, please, at 240-773-5900, or visit our nice cockatoo on the web at montgomerycountyanimalservices.gov/ASD.
And with that, we close this edition of County Report this week. Remember to like us on Facebook and to join us again at this time every week for a look at what's going on inside Montgomery County. I'm Lorna Virgili, and thank you for watching.